Hi everyone, my name is Ravi Prakash and this is the ninth class of geometry. Okay, so from here onwards in next few videos we'll discuss about condition for formation of triangle, right? So in how many conditions triangle can be formed, triangle like obtuse angle triangle, acute angle triangle, scalene triangles like that, okay, right angle triangle. So we'll discuss all these things, okay? See, when two sides are given, the third side, when two sides are given, third side should always be right. This third side should always be less than sum of the two sides and should always be greater than difference of two sides. Okay. So when two sides are given, third side should always be less than sum of two sides and always should be greater than sum of difference of two sides. Okay. So that reverse always we know, right, from childhood we have studied this. Sum of two sides is greater than the third side. Okay. So this is the condition, right? For example, if sides of a triangle are 7, 12 and n, right? For how many integral values of n? For how many integral values of n triangle will be formed? Right? That means n should be always less than sum of two sides, that is 7 plus 12, 19, and n should always be greater than difference of two sides, right? That is 12 minus 7. Don't take 7 minus 12, right? Any this difference cannot be negative, right? So always positive. So take 12 minus 7. So 5. So that means n is between 5 and 19, right? Therefore, n can take how many values? So n is from 5 to 19. So n can take any value from 6 to 18. How many values? Both inclusive, right? So when both inclusive, difference plus 1. So 18 minus 6, 12. 12 plus 1, 13. So 13 is the answer, right? So n can take 13 values. So if sides of a triangle are 7, 12 and n, for how many integral values of n triangle will be formed? That is for 13 values of n, right? That is n is from 6 to 18. Okay. Now, next one. If two sides of a triangle are 762 and 1233 units. So for how many integral values of third side? For how many integral values of third side a triangle will be formed? Okay, so I can directly write, let the third side be x. So let the third side be x, right? So x should lie in between these two, right? Sum of two sides, that is 762 plus 1233. Difference of two sides, right? 1233 minus 762. That means x is lying between what? What is the summation of this? 2095. Okay. Sorry. 1995. Right. 1995. What is the difference here? 1233 minus 762. Right. So it is 471, I think. Yeah. 471. So 471. Right. So how many values here? That means x can take all the values from 472 to 1994. Right. So again, both inclusive. What are the number of values? Difference plus 1. Right. That is, x can take how many values? 1994 minus 472. The difference plus 1 because both inclusive. 472 and 1994 both inclusive, right? So what is the difference here? It is 1522 plus 1, 1523. Right, 1523 is the answer, right? So for how many integral values of x? For how many integral values of x or of third side? What is the answer? Answer is 1523. So I can form 1523 different triangles. Okay, this is the concept here. Fine. Now next one. How to categorize for given size the triangle is an obtuse angle triangle or acute angle triangle, right? So see, for any right angle triangle, I take the condition for any right angle triangle, or I should give, we can first give the heading as condition for obtuse, acute and right angle triangle. Right, now what is obtuse angle triangle? So obtuse angle triangle is a triangle in which one angle is greater than 90 degree. This is obtuse angle triangle. What is acute angle triangle? Is all angles are less than 90 degree. Right, what is right angle triangle? We know one angle is equal to 90 degree, right? Now there is a difference between acute, obtuse and right angle triangle. So in obtuse, one angle is greater than 90 degree, right? To find the condition, let's write it for right angle triangle first. Right angle triangle, right? So I know right angle triangle. What is the condition? For right angle triangle, if it is A, it is B. So C square should be equal to A square plus B square, right? This is Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So C square is equal to A square plus B square. Now from here on, we can derive a condition for, this is for right angle triangle, right? This is for right angle triangle. So we can derive a condition for obtuse angle triangle, right? For obtuse angle triangle, what will happen? This side will be more tilted, right? Because angle has to be greater than 90 degree, right? Angle has to be this angle theta is obviously greater than 90 degree, right? This is for obtuse angle triangle. Now we're discussing for obtuse angle triangle. Now see what is the condition here? When this theta was exactly equal to 90, then this C, let this side be C, this side be A, this side be B, right? Then this C square was absolutely equal to A square plus B square, right? But when this theta is increased, that is more than 90 degree, this side will expand. So at 90 degrees, C square was equal to A square plus B square, right? Now if it is more than 90, this side will further expand, right? So now it will be like C square would be greater than A square plus B square, right? You're getting it? Assume it to be assume this triangle to be made of stretchable wire, right? So it's a right angle triangle. So right angle triangle, this C square is absolutely equal to A square plus B square, Pythagoras theorem, right? Now in case of obtuse angle triangle, this side is tilted. Okay, so this side is tilted. Now this is a triangle, right? So this 90 degree expands. So if it is a stretchable wire material, this hypotenuse of right angle triangle will also expand, right? So if 90 degree opens up, right, it is theta is more than 90 degree in obtuse angle triangle, this hypotenuse also expands, right? So when it was 90 degree, C square, that is hypotenuse, is equal to A square plus B square. When it is more than 90 degree, it expands, right? When it expands, C square will be greater than A square plus B square, right? And obviously we know that in any triangle, larger the angle, longer is the side. Larger the angle, longer is the side, right? Obviously, because more is the angle, that it's larger the angle, longer is its opposite side. I should write like this: longer is its opposite side, right? In any triangle, if angle is more, its opposite side will be more expanded, right? So its opposite side will be more. So if more is the theta, its opposite side is more, right? So in obtuse angle triangle, only one angle can be more than 90 degree, right? Because sum has to be sum has to be equal to 180 degree in any triangle, right? So if one angle is more than 90 degree, sum of other two angles has to be less than 90 degree, right? So that means this is the greatest angle. This is the greatest angle, right? So this is the greatest angle here. That means C is the longest side. C has to be the longest side, right? So you can write in words this one. In obtuse angle triangle, longest side square should be greater than sum of squares of other two sides. Other two sides, right? Very important condition. Mark it. In obtuse angle triangle, longest side square is greater than sum of squares of other two sides. Okay, very important condition, right? Similarly, we can discuss for acute angle triangle also, right? We can discuss for acute angle triangle also. I'll write here itself so that all will be in one screen. Okay, in case of acute angle triangle. Now, what if in case of acute angle triangle, you can sense it by now, right? Again, we can compare it by right angle triangle. In right angle triangle, if theta is 90 degree, so it is perfectly equal to AC square is equal to A square plus B square, right? Now in this case, theta will further contract. This is acute angle triangle, right? This theta is now less than 90 degree. The C square, now at 90 degree, it was perfectly equal to A square plus B square. If theta expands, this is more than 90 degree. Opposite side also expands. That is in obtuse angle triangle. The C square is greater than A square plus B square. Now from right angle triangle, if theta contracts, right, that is to acute angle, right, angle is less than 90 degree. So this side will further opposite, say if theta contracts, opposite side will further contract, right? That means the opposite side will be what? Will be less than, in this case, less than A square plus B square. So this is the condition for acute angle triangle, right? This is a condition for acute angle triangle. It's for any side, right? Because in this case, all the angles are like less than 90 degree only. So all the angles are less than 90 degree only, right? So square, so I can write in acute angle triangle always C square will be less than A square plus B square, always. Any side you take, right, it will be less than the sum of squares of other two sides for sure. So let's do some example here. Now we need to check here that, okay, 12, 18 and 23 is which kind of triangle? Acute, obtuse or right angle triangle? Which kind of triangle, right? Acute, obtuse or right angle triangle? Now you can sense it, this is obviously not a right angle triangle. This is obviously not a right angle triangle because it doesn't follow any triplet. It doesn't follow any triplet, so it is not a right angle triangle. Okay. Moreover, what you can do here is to find out of acute and obtuse, right? So what you can do, put the condition for obtuse, right? What is the condition for obtuse? Longest side square. Condition for obtuse, longest side square should be greater than sum of squares of other two sides, right? Of other two sides. Fine. Okay, that means what is the longest side square here? 23 square. 23 square should be greater than 12 square plus 18 square. Now let's check, is it true? 23 square is what? 529. What is 12 square? 144. What is 18 square? 324. Right? So now 144 plus 324. So 529 is greater than 468. Right? It is correct. That means this triangle is an obtuse angle triangle. This triangle is an obtuse angle triangle. It is not an acute angle triangle, not a right angle triangle. Correct. So this is how we check for any triangle, right? Any triangle we check like this, right? Suppose I need to check, let's say 5, 12, okay, 5, 12 and 7 are which kind of triangle? Acute, obtuse or right angle triangle? So again you can see that it is not a right angle triangle because it doesn't follow any triplet here, right? Now for acute obtuse angle triangle, again condition, longest side is square. Put the condition for obtuse angle triangle. Longest side is square. 12 square should be greater than 5 square plus, 7 square, yeah. That means 144 should be greater than 7 square plus 5 square. So 49 plus 25, 74. Correct only, right? That means it is an obtuse angle triangle. It doesn't always, right? It doesn't always, obviously. Okay. but right now it is obtuse angle triangle. Now let's change here. Suppose I change here, I make here 5, 12 and 14 here now, right? Or I can make here, I know that 5, 12 and 13 will give me a right angle triangle. 5, 12, 13 is the triplet here, right? 5, 12, 13 is the triplet here. Okay. Now let me make the sides as 5, 11 and 12. 5, 11 and 12. Now is it acute or obtuse? Obviously it is not right angle triangle. So it is acute or obtuse. Can we check? We can check quickly. Longest, check the condition of obtuse angle triangle. We can put for acute also, right? I'm just putting for obtuse, right? It's easy to put. 5 square is 25 plus 11 square, right? Longest side square should be greater than sum of squares of other two sides. Fine. 144 is greater than 25 plus 121. That is 146. It is wrong. It is wrong. That means it is what? It is an acute angle triangle, right? It is not an obtuse angle triangle. It is an acute angle triangle. So this is how we check for acute angle triangle and obtuse angle triangle, right? I hope you got it. Okay, let's do some questions now. Fine. Okay, question. If two sides of a triangle are 8 and 15, then for how many integral values of third side? Then for how many integral values of third side triangle will be an obtuse angle triangle? Obtuse angle triangle. Now, this is a previous year CAT question, right? So just give it a try. Okay, pause this video for 2 minutes or at least 5 minutes and give it a try. You can solve it, right? Okay, we'll solve now. So if two sides of a triangle are 8 and 15, then for how many integral values of third side triangle will be an obtuse angle triangle? Fine. Okay, that means let the sides be 8, 15 and x. X is the third side, right? So x will lie in between. Sum of two sides is 23 and difference of two sides is 7, right? So that means x can take all values from 8 to 22. That means x can take 15 values. Now, but this is what? This is for all kind of triangles formed, right? Obtuse, acute, right angle triangle, whatever. All the mixture. There are total 15 values. So I can form 15 different triangles, right? But our question is for obtuse angle triangle, right? So for obtuse angle triangle, I know what is the condition? Longest side square is greater than sum of squares of other two sides, right? But if you see here, x can take the value from 8 to 22. Okay. And the one side of triangle is what? 15. That means x is sometime less than 15 and x is sometime greater than 15, right? So there will be a kind of controversy if I directly pick any value for x, right? That means it is kind of two cases. We are seeing that two cases can be formed, right? What is the first case? First case where if x is less than 15, then if x is less than 15, then this 15 becomes the longest side. Okay. And if x is greater than 15, because x can take all values from 8 to 22, right? 15 will lie somewhere in middle, right? So if x is greater than 15, in that case, x is the longest side, right? So I can make two cases here. Okay, let's make case 1. Case 1. If x is less than 15, then 15 is the longest side. 15 is the longest side. In that case, 15 square, that is longest side square, should be greater than sum of squares of other two sides, that is x square plus 8 square. Okay. So what is the answer in this case? Or I can write, or 15 square is 225 minus 64, or x square is what? It should be less than 225 is 15 square minus 8 square, that is 64. So 225 minus 64 becomes 161. X square is less than 161. That means x can take all the values that is less than equal to 12, right? Because x square is 161, so 13 square is 169. So x can't take 13, so x will start taking from 12 because x here is 12 point something, right? So largest integer x can take is 12. So x is less than equal to 12, but where? Till 8. because before a triangle will not be formed. Forget about obtuse angle triangle. Only triangle can't be formed, right? Because what is the condition for formation of triangle? X should be between 8 and 22. That means x is less than 12, right? Therefore, x can take 5 values. That is, x is equal to 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, right? So here x can take 5 values. Here x can take 5 values, right? Now, case 2. Case 2. Case 2. If x is greater than 15, then x is the longest side now, because the two other sides are what, 8 and 15. So if x is greater than 15, so x is the longest side. So if x is the longest side, x square is greater than 8 square plus 15 square. That means x square is greater than 289. That means x square is what? Greater than, what is 289? 17 square. That means x square is greater than 17 square. Right? That means x has to be greater than or equal to 18. Or x has to be, I can write greater than 17, I can write, right? So x has to be greater than 17. That means x can't take 17. X will start taking value from 18. So x can take 18, 19, 20, up to where? Up to 22. This is the maximum limit, right? 20, 21, 22. So again, x can take 5 values here. So again, x can take 5 values in case 2 also. What is the answer? 5 plus 5. What is the answer? 10. So answer is 10. Therefore, 10 is the answer. Answer is 10. So for how many integral values of third side triangle will be in obtuse angle triangle? 10 values. Correct? Okay. Now in the same question you can ask, okay, from 8 obviously. So from in the same question I can write it, okay, that okay, x could take values from 23 to 7, right? So x will be from 8 to 22. Fine. X can take 15 values. Okay. Now I got, okay, out of those 15 values, I got, there will be obtuse angle triangle will be 10. There will be 10 obtuse angle triangle, right? So can you find number of acute angle triangle as well as right angle triangle? How many, in last question, how many obtuse angle triangle we got? 10, right? How many acute angle triangle? How many right angle triangle? So see, since 8 and 15 are the other two sides, so there's a triplet, right? If you remember, 8, 15, 17 is a triplet. Or you can satisfy by Pythagorean theorem also, right? At 8, 15. So 8, 15, 17 is a triplet. That means there will only be one right angle triangle. There only will be one right angle triangle, right? So there can be 15 distinct triangles can be formed. Out of that, 10 is obtuse, 1 is acute. Sorry, 1 is right angle triangles. How many acute? 15 minus 10 plus 1. That is how much? 4. There are 4 acute angle triangles, 10 obtuse angle triangle, 1 right angle triangle, right? So good question it is. Fine. Okay. Okay. Next one. We'll discuss next question. Yeah. So the next question is, if two sides of a triangle are 10 and 24, right? Then for how many integral values of the third side, triangle will be an acute angle triangle, right? Okay. So again, let's say the sides of triangle are 10, 24 and x, right? So x should be what? Should lie between sum of two sides, that is 34, difference of two sides, that is 14. That means range of x is what? From 14 to 34, both exclusive, right? That means 15 to 33. Okay. So now if x can take all the values from 15 to 33, again same thing as the last question, right? Because 24 lies in between. So if x is less than 24, then x is the larger side. Sorry, then 24 is the larger side. And if x is greater than 24, that means 24 is the then x is the larger side, right? So if x is less than 24, that means 24 is the larger side here given. And if x is greater than 24, so two sides are 10 and 24. So that means x will be the greater side. So again, two cases I'll make. So case 1. Case 1. If x is greater than 24, then x is the largest side. So x is the largest side. So I know what is for acute angle triangle. Largest side, that is x square, right? Largest side, that is x square, should be less than sum of squares of the other two sides, that is 10 square plus 24 square. Okay, that basically means x square should be less than, now 24 square is 576 and plus 10 square is 676. So x square is less than 676 and 676 is what? 26 square. That means x square is less than, that means x square is less than 26 square. Therefore, x is less than 26. The first condition I got, x is less than 26. Right? Now, case 2. Case 2. If x is less than 24, then 24 is the largest side. 24 is the largest side. Okay, that means x largest side is square. 24 square should be less than x square plus 10 square. That means x square should be greater than 576 minus 100, that is 476. This is roughly around how much, right? See, 22 square is 484. Right, that means x square, x is greater than 21 point something, right? That means I can say that, okay, x can be greater than equal to 22, right? Because x square is greater than 476. What is 476? 21 point something. Sorry, it means the square root of 476 is what? 21 point something, right? That means x can take the value from 22 onwards, right? So 22 onwards, this is the second equation, but only less than 26. That means x can take how many values? Therefore, x can take how many values? X can take 22, 23, 24 and 25. That's it. What is the answer? Answer is 4. So 4 is the answer for this question, right? So it's a very good question and these are very good concepts, right? So in the next video, we'll discuss if perimeter is given, right? So how to find number of triangles in scalene triangles, or scalene triangle, or how many triangles can be found when perimeter of a side is given. That means sum of all three sides is given, right? Okay, thank you.